And what seems to be happening with the younger generation, okay, is they're on their phones usually about 5 hours a day. When you're on your phone, you're not experiencing your body, you're experiencing thoughts in your head. See, so what they're doing is pulling all of their energy up to their head. And they're not any longer doing physical labor, as an example, out in the fields pulling grass, or they're not doing a lot of physical labor. Some of them are exercising and getting connected that way. But what's happening is they're pulling their energy up into their head. And when you talk about mind, body, and spirit, what it's distorting is it's distorting their body, and then that distorts their spirit. So, and most medical conditions, or many of them, are a result of high anxiety. So people have to reduce their anxiety, which increases their immune system. So once we increase the strength of the immune system, it can now facilitate its movement through the body and heal or resolve many chronic illnesses that people experience.
Wow, saya merasa ini perlu diajarkan ke semua orang Indonesia, karena semua orang Indonesia punya tubuh. Tubuhlah yang menghealing diri sendiri. Dan bedanya tubuh dengan teknik pikiran itu adalah, pikiran kita bisa lupa. Tubuh sekali belajar, seumur hidup bisa dipakai. Itu yang membuat saya tertarik, orang tidak lagi tergantung pada saya.
Sahabat SP30, salam hebat luar biasa. Wah, kali ini saya Level Up Podcast kedatangan salah seorang yang mungkin di luar ekspektasi Anda. Karena kali ini saya mengundang seorang doktor, seorang profesor. Beliau dari Amerika Serikat, bahkan usia beliau saat ini sudah kepala 7. Tapi kenapa kok saya undang di Success Before 30? Karena ini sangat concern dengan isu mental health yang sekarang termasuk brain rot yang barusan saya bangun videonya. Termasuk bagaimana isu-isu kecemasan yang begitu mendominasi dunia digital dan sosial media dewasa ini. Dan saya seperti biasa, saya tidak mengundang sembarangan narasumber, tapi saya mengundang narasumber yang sangat kompeten di bidang ini. Khususnya beliau akan membahas tentang yang namanya TRE. Apa itu namanya TRE? Kita akan bahas lebih banyak setelah yang satu ini.
Welcome to Success Before 30 Level Up Podcast.
Welcome to Success Before 30 Level Up Podcast, Mr. David.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, Dr. David, I have a curious question about the energy, about the mental health issues, about the young generations, too much information they get from social media. I think this is some controversy. They can make more creatively, but somehow they make some overthinking mindset.
Right.
So I just want asking, actually, what is TRE?
TRE stands for Tension and Trauma Releasing Exercises. And all it is a simple series of exercises that a person can do by themselves to reduce the tension and anxiety that we pick up every day in life, to do exactly what you're talking about, get us out of that mental energy and bring us back down into a body which we need to feel connected with, to feel safe and comfortable in life.
Okay, so if we got to the doctors or psychologists, they always teach us how to decrease your GERD problem or your gastritic problem. Exactly, you have to eat some medicines, right? Okay, so I think this is not a big problem for me. But if how TRE can cure this gastritic problem, or I think just like a GERD problem.
What TRE is it's an exercise that causes your body to begin to shake. Okay? And it physically will shake. And as it shakes, which is an activation of the nervous system, it's completely normal. So the body will shake. And as it shakes, it then starts to move the fluid in the body and the blood. And so it increases circulation. And most gastrointestinal problems come from a blockage of circulation. So some of it can be resolved very easily just by increasing the circulation in the gastrointestinal area, which this shaking does. And once the circulation enters there, then the system can reorganize itself as much as possible back into a healthy state.
Since from beginning.
Yes, exactly. We're designed to do that as a living organism. Our body's constantly, every minute of every day, circulating blood flow and other fluids to try to keep this body healthy and running throughout the day, no matter what we do to it. But it's designed to keep trying to figure out, how do I move the fluid to keep all of the body parts integrated and healthy?
Okay.
So, I think I learned something from you about the shaking. All right. So, if we get a sport, we just running, or now the most popular for young age is a Zumba, dancing, right? Is it the same shaking, right?
It's not exactly the same. But the concept is correct. You can go to a gymnasium and find vibrating platforms. Okay, you stand on a vibrating platform. No, not necessarily better, but Zumba, even Qigong, Tai Chi, they have movements where you shake the body.
Really?
The only problem with all of that is that they're doing it from a consciousness perspective. So I'm telling my body to shake, and I'm making my body shake. Or I get on a platform, and the platform shakes my body. What TRE and why it's powerfully different is it stimulates your nervous system to shake itself, which is different than an external shaking from a machine, or different from the consciousness shaking. We're accessing in TRE a very primitive part of the brain, okay? And that primitive part of the brain already knows how to shake the body back into health. So we're accessing one of the most primitive mechanisms in the human body. We're re-stimulating it for people. That's what TRE is. We show you how to re-stimulate that, and then how do you use that yourself every day to re-stimulate your body's circulation back to perfect health.
It was very interesting. So you can shake by yourself, so instantly, and this is not our conscious mind to tell how to shake. But is it there is some same perspective with your subconscious mind to do this shaking?
Right. So what happens, it even goes below the subconscious mind, because it's sort of like your heart rate or your breathing or your blood pressure. Those are all regulated naturally by a very primitive part of the brain. We don't think of that, and it's not even subconscious. It's below that. It's very primitive. It's an animal nature built into the human body. Well, this tremoring that we evoke in TRE is from that part of the brain. So it's not just subconscious, it's actually neurological, in the sense that your brain knows how to do this, and it knows how to access this, but we have to do it through the body, as you experienced, and I can't tell you consciously.
Oh, so my body was very intelligent to tell my body itself to shake it. Is that right?
Yes, the body has the intelligence of the shaking. We just found a way to access that intelligence through simple exercise routine.
All right. So now my question is that the medical doctor can accept this theory?
Actually, there are many medical doctors around the world who prescribe this as part of their stress reduction for their patients. Now, here we're doing a major research of this in China right now at a medical center. And what we're discovering is that when people access this primitive part of the brain and this primitive shaking mechanism, it reorganizes the body back into a healthy state. So it's slowly catching on globally as something that really has neurological foundation for explaining and accessing this healing mechanism in the human body.
Okay. So now, what is the difference about, I think you just answered about the difference with Tai Chi and meditation and yoga, about the naturally shaking, right? So what is the issues that TRE can help and resolve these issues about, how TRE very effective to cure the disease?
Right. Okay. So I don't use the word cure, but I understand your question. So think of it like this, because there are many different ways that this shaking mechanism in the human body can help the human body come back to a healthy state. So if you have a physical accident, as an example, you fall down the stairs, you hurt your knee or your back. I work with a lot of sports people who have injured their shoulder or their neck. I work with a lot of military who've got very severe trauma from being in the military, and how do they release that so they don't take it home to their family? Then you have people with medical conditions, okay? So, and most medical conditions, or many of them, are a result of high anxiety. So people have to reduce their anxiety, which increases their immune system. So once we increase the strength of the immune system, it can now facilitate its movement through the body and heal or resolve many chronic illnesses that people experience. See, I'm trying to say, we're using one of the most primitive mechanisms in the human body.
Primitive mechanism.
Exactly. And it knows how to resolve the lack of health in the human body.
So can you explain more about the primitive mechanism? What is the primitive mechanism? Because this is cannot accept by some theory that we know.
Right, okay. So this is interesting. You ask a question that suggests you don't understand, as will your listeners, but when I tell you what it is, you'll say, oh yeah, I know that. So listen to this. If you are out in the streets or something, and there's a loud sound, your body will jerk right away. But if you're with you're shocked. If you're with a little child or something, they may start to shake. They'll tremor, exactly right. Because little children are available and free still to let the tremoring happen.
Exactly.
So tremoring is nothing but when the nervous system elevates to a certain level, it says, all right, we're too high, I need to shake, and that will calm me back down again. But even for positive events, what if you're getting married and you're going to walk in front of all your relatives and all your friends, and all of a sudden you discover that you're shaking because you're a little bit nervous?
Yeah, nervous.
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
So that shaking during nervousness, we found a way to re-stimulate that in a safe environment, and it uses that very mechanism to calm down anxiety, and then to find through your body where are places that you haven't resolved from past experiences of stress or tension or anxiety, and it begins to start to resolve them.
Oh, I see. So, but if we get afraid or anxiety, we are naturally can get shake, just like tremor, as you said. But what is the difference, the shake with the anxiety and the TRE method?
The only difference is it's the same shaking and the same mechanism from the same nervous system. We're just showing you how to stimulate it yourself in a safe environment where you can actually allow the shaking. It feels exactly like shaking when you feel anxious, but you can feel it. It will actually move through your body, and now you get to observe it. So the difference is, you are in control of an out-of-control experience. When you shake when you're anxious, you're not in control of that one. In this one, we actually put you in control of your own nervous system.
Oh, that is the demon.
It makes you feel safe.
But it was effective.
Yes, it's extremely effective.
Because this is a primitive...
Exactly right. If we've been genetically encoded with this mechanism, and we have evolved with it, if it's still in us, it means we need that for our evolutionary process. If we didn't need it anymore, we would have evolved out of it. But since it's still in us, we should use it to our advantage.
All right. Okay, so back to primitive mechanism. So I think now the issue about trauma, right? So everybody have a trauma. It's about love relationships, you falling down in your business. And I think you lost with your parents, die. I think trauma, every people can get the trauma.
So think of this again. I'm going to talk about the human species, all of us,
All right.
humanity, okay?
Yeah, humanity.
We are genetically encoded to know that we will experience trauma. We are genetically encoded to endure that trauma, to survive that trauma,
Survive the trauma.
and I believe we are designed to evolve from that trauma.
Why?
Because
Can evolve. Yeah.
think of this, if you go through a difficult experience in life, and what happens through that experience, when you go through it, you have learned something about yourself at a very deep level. You've become a deeper human being where you reflect on, yes, that was painful, but because of that divorce, let's say,
Yeah.
I realized how strong I am, how wise I can be,
Right.
and I know that when I go into my next relationship,
Yeah.
I will be a better person. And see, so we actually learn lessons from trauma. Not that I want us to have it. I don't like trauma, and I've been through much of it myself.
Yeah.
But we actually learn how to be a better species as a result of trauma. See, so it's invaluable for us.
Is it the nature way? That we can cure our trauma by ourselves. Is it the natural way? Because you said that we design to trauma and we can evolve to trauma. So how to explain it?
There are several theories about this.
Right.
Because I've lived for many years by myself alone.
Really?
As a hermit, because I wanted to see, can I still heal while I live by myself? I wanted nothing to do with humanity.
But you don't feel lonely.
No, not at all. I loved it, actually.
You loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've lived through 3 different wars. So I've been
Yeah,
through a
yeah.
lot of trauma, and I've seen a lot of painful
see.
experiences in life.
I see. So World War I, World War II, right?
No. I lived in the war in the Middle East.
Middle East. Oh,
yes.
you stayed- your background is a
No,
soldier?
I lived there. I was in the military, yes, for 6 years.
Okay.
And I lived in southern Sudan when the North and the South were at war.
All right.
I lived in Palestinian Israeli West Bank when they were at war. And then I lived in Lebanon when they were experiencing war.
Right, really.
So I experienced a lot of violence in life. And so after that, I went and I lived alone.
Okay.
Because I wanted to know, can I heal myself?
Can you heal by yourself?
Yes.
This is your own experience. Right?
Yes, I wanted to try that.
All right.
And so I discovered 2 things from that. Yes, there's a certain amount of healing that I can and actually must do by myself. Because I have to love me again.
Okay.
I have to get to
You
know
have to
me
love
again.
yourself.
I have
Yes,
to love
that's
myself
exactly,
again.
exactly.
But then, once I learned how to do that, I had to go back into humanity. To learn how to, again, reestablish a relationship with humanity that was severed
Yes.
because of the pain that I experienced in war and violence. So what I discovered is that we are both an independently regulating species. I can regulate myself and move towards health, but I'm also an interdependent species. I have to renew my relationship with humanity again. So both of those are important.
So how you make it?
How did I do it?
Yeah.
Well, I lived by myself alone. Then when I came back to humanity is when I started establishing relationships
Right.
with colleagues, and I was able to talk about and feel the pain of talking about how could humanity be so cruel to each other and how could we be this way. But it wasn't me just dumping it on people. I was able to now reflect and, like I said,
Yeah.
evolve in a way where I had to articulate what does that pain feel like? How do I
Pain
get
feel.
through that pain? And so it actually helped me develop what I call the wisdom of humanity.
Wisdom of
See,
humanity.
we
Yes,
are a wise species.
Of course.
Wise species.
We are.
Interesting word.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And our difficulty is we don't always have access to our wisdom. We have it, but we don't always have access to it.
We don't have the access. Why?
Because the trauma blocks
Trauma
it.
blocks it. Yeah.
See?
This is an energy, right? This is just like energy. So the energy was blocked. So we cannot access to our wisdom.
Exactly right. Because listen, wisdom comes from when the brain is connected to the body, and when the brain and body work together. Wisdom does not come just from the head. It needs to be connected to something. And so we need to connect our bodies and our brains together, and then that's what creates wisdom in us. If you ever listen to wisdom figures, people have been through life, what are they telling you? I had to do this, I had to be that way, this happened to me, I had to ground myself and figure out how to move on. Why would you ground yourself? You ground yourself because the energy in the head is not going to get you through the problem. You need a heart, you need to breathe, you need to feel the earth. Collectively, that's what helps you move forward in life.
Mind, body, and soul have to be connected, right? Yes, exactly. So if we cannot connect it, that's a blockage energy.
We're designed to be a connected species. So if you're not working within your design, you're obviously going to have difficulty.
Exactly. So now, there's a modern disease right now. So we just like a mental health issues, overthinking, anxiety. Now it's very popular. Right. And now I think this is just this is I think if you get this experience about trauma, I think it's of 30 years, 40 years and above. Now young generation has this problem. Right. We don't have it. Young generation actually they have to be happy. They just playing, laughing and something. Right. But now they have this problem. Yeah. This is and many more about artificial intelligence. It's more make them, wow, this is very, okay. So they don't have to think that they don't have to think, right? They should not think because they, in their age, they don't have to teach it, but cannot, now it cannot.
Right. Okay, so I've been reading some research. This is a very good point. This is a very good point.
So what is your explanation about
I've been reading some research, and what seems to be happening with the younger generation, okay, is they're on their phones usually about 5 hours a day. When you're on your phone, you're not experiencing your body, you're experiencing thoughts in your head. See, so what they're doing is pulling all of their energy up to their head, and they're not any longer doing physical labor, as an example, out in the fields pulling grass, or they're not doing a lot of physical labor. Some of them are exercising and getting connected that way. But what's happening is they're pulling their energy up into their head. And when you talk about mind, body, and spirit, what it's distorting is it's distorting their body, and then that distorts their spirit. So now they have too much mind energy.
Oh, that is not balanced, right?
Not balanced, and it creates anxiety because they're living in an organism that's designed to be integrated. The only time we are not anxious is when mind, body, and spirit are in harmony. The minute they're not in harmony, we feel anxiety because we feel that we're not feeling being human. And that frightens us.
I get that point. All right. So I think this explanation will give answers to our subscriber that you can heal by yourself. Yes, you can heal by yourself if you understanding what this TRE was, right? And so what inspiring you to develop the TRE? And how did you know TRE from the beginning? Okay. This is interesting questions.
Yeah, well, listen to that.
This is from India or something?
No. This comes from my experiences of war. When I was in war...
So you developed?
Yes.
You are
I'm the developer of this.
You're the developer.
Yeah.
So the TRE is your...
I developed it.
Okay, so this is your theory. This is okay. So your experience, how you release your trauma.
Exactly right. So I was in war.
Right.
I watched people get frightened by that experience of ducking and hiding.
Okay.
And my question when I saw it was, how does every human body know how to do this? So that your mother didn't train you how to do this. When you hear a loud sound, make sure you do this, you know?
Naturally.
And that's the whole point. It was natural. So I thought, well, that must be in the brain. Some primitive part of the brain does this. Right, and then what muscle pattern produces that reaction so quickly? So there's got to be a neurological and physiological protective mechanism in the human species to help it survive trauma.
Fight or flight.
Exactly right. So I studied that. Then the other thing, and how I found out the shaking, was when I was in a bomb shelter and I was holding 2 little children when there was bombing. It was terrifying. And these little children were shaking in terror. And I could feel it in their bodies. But when I looked around the bomb shelter, the teenagers, they were starting to shake, but they were trying to stop it. And none of the adults were shaking. And I realized immediately, the children are showing me the true nature.
The true nature.
The true nature of being afraid is they let themselves tremor freely. But as adults, we train
so
ourselves.
this is a good sign.
Yes.
The tremor is a good sign.
The children were reducing their stress immediately. Like a dog, if you ever see a dog in a thunderstorm, as an example, they start to shake right away.
Of course,
They're shaking off their stress immediately. See, so that the stress level doesn't get too high. We're designed to do that. But look, how we stop it?
So that is not a bad sign, right?
No, it's an excellent sign.
Excellent sign.
Yes.
Oh, I just know.
If-
the shaking, but
Yes.
this is not Parkinson, right?
No. No, Parkinson's is a damaged nervous system.
Damaged nervous system.
What we're doing is working with a healthy nervous system.
Healthy nervous
But here's our problem. Talk
Okay.
about the medical system just a little bit. If you saw me shaking right now, or you could hear shaking in my voice, you'd say, he's frightened, he's weak, he's afraid, he's insecure.
Yeah, of course.
There's no positive narrative about oh, look
shaking.
how nice, he's shaking off his stress.
Yeah, all is
how
negative.
healthy is that?
Shaking is very negative.
Exactly right.
That we know.
So we've made a negative narrative, and so what we did was we froze our bodies from doing it, and it's no different than crying. Listen to this. A 2-year-old will fall and hurt their leg, and they'll cry freely.
Right.
An 11-year-old, particularly a boy, if they fall and hurt their leg, they'll not
amazing.
cry. Don't
shame.
cry.
Don't
right.
cry.
And an adult can
A boy
fall.
cannot cry.
Right.
Yeah.
An adult can fall and break their knee, and they won't cry. We train ourselves out of the narratives that are negative. If you cry, you're weak.
Yes, exactly.
See? So what do? When the body wants to cry, which is only nothing but
cry.
a natural release of energy, that's all. When you talk about blocking energy, if you hold back a cry, you block the energy right here at the diaphragm. And so how are you going to be healthy? How are you going to be happy if your energy is blocked right here? You can't be. It's impossible.
That's trauma.
That's trauma. Exactly right. Trauma is blocking your nature of your full self.
So you are the formulator of the TRE because your experience. Similar with me, how I can read this badai pasti berlalu.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And so what I did was I tried this on thousands of people. Now it's in 91 countries around the world because it works. Not because I'm a good advertiser, not because I'm a good promoter. It's working because it's spreading itself.
Explaining itself.
See, and that's what people are saying. This worked for me. It helped me.
What year you discovered this theory?
What made me discover the theory?
Yeah, what year? How long?
Oh, and about, let me see, in the late, what year did I publish my first book?
19 something.
Yeah.
During 90s?
Yeah, during the 90s.
During the 90s.
Yeah,
So I think it's around almost 40 years, right?
Yes, exactly.
I think
Yeah.
it's proven, right?
Yeah, it's proven itself quite well.
Right. So since before discovering TRE, did you since TRE was a completely new method at the time and challenged the traditional belief that the tremor, you as you said. So this is recognized by a healthcare community.
It's recognized by some healthcare communities in different countries, but that's our problem. It depends on the healthcare system of that country. See, some of them like having alternative healthcares provided, and some of them don't. Now, even in the United States, where I come from, the healthcare system won't recognize TRE yet because it doesn't have enough research to satisfy them. But I have medical doctors who are promoting it. Hospitals do it with their
But not every medical doctor, right?
no, not every medical doctor. No, hospitals who
But
work
don't
with
worry. Before this, we take this podcast, you said one thing that was very interesting.
What's that?
Why the medical doctor cannot accept this in the this medical problem? Because this is a business, right?
Yes, of course.
You can say it. It
Medicine is
doesn't
a
matter.
business,
This is
yes.
free because this is a podcast. You can say anything. Why the medical system cannot accept these theories?
Listen to this. It's
Yeah.
very simple. If I belong to a medical system and I need to make money to make my medical system stay active, I have to guarantee you always stay slightly sick.
Yeah.
I can't heal you.
I love this
I
word.
cannot heal you because if you do, I'm losing money.
I'm losing money because
Yes.
if I get sick again, I have to buy your medicine again.
Exactly
I have
right.
to watching the doctor again and
Yes.
get the receipt again, and I again after I feel health.
Right.
And good health, and if I cannot getting well again, I got to pick. This is repeatedly.
Right,
That's called
exactly.
Stay sick.
Exactly right. That keeps. Stay sick means keep the medical system alive.
All right.
Do
Okay.
you see the
Yeah.
paradox in that?
Yes. Okay. So back to this is the healthcare community. So not every healthcare community can accept this TRE theory, right?
Right, exactly. But what many of them are suggesting that they're lacking is the research. That's what they claim they need to be able to prove that this works. So right now in China, actually, we're doing a major research on this process, and I'm sure it will prove itself to be workable. When it does, then we have enough evidence to promote it to other medical systems throughout the world that suggests, this is worth looking, and hopefully we'll get other people to research it as well.
Okay. So hopefully successful.
Yeah.
Right. So in your experience, how do trauma reactions differ between communities that have endured prolonged conflict and individuals who have experienced personal trauma?
What I discovered when I was living in, let's say, trauma communities, so people who've experienced war, natural disasters, they have a broader perspective on life because their life was almost ended.
Okay.
If you are in a car accident tomorrow and you almost die, but
Almost
you
die.
don't, all of a sudden your brain starts to think about, wait, what is my life about? It could be over tomorrow. How am I spending my life right now?
I've been on that stage.
There, okay.
Between the gate
Yes.
of life and death.
Exactly
I've
right.
Been on that,
right.
On that gate.
And what happens?
Yes.
You think in a bigger way. It's like, I'm going to do only what's meaningful in my life.
Exactly.
It's short. And I want to spend every moment I can
Exactly.
living my life fully.
Right.
That's the difference. That's the culture.
That's the culture.
Yeah.
So this is your experience. So this is different. I think that not everyone can accept this theory, right?
No, they can't accept it until they experience it, just like you did right now. I told you a theory of my experience, and you said, yes, I know that.
Yeah,
But that's because we connect from that depth of experience. When you're living in a whole society that's experienced a natural disaster or whatever, collectively, they believe this. They know this.
So how can I say? Is it the TRE is the best medicine for trauma problem?
Well, let me say this. TRE, for me, is the best medicine for helping re-stimulate the body to move back towards health.
The best stimulate to backward health.
Yeah.
As a naturally.
Exactly right.
As
it's
the beginning, right?
completely natural, and it's very primitive. That's very key to this.
Yes. So many people believe that trauma exists only in their mind. So, for example, they cannot. So I can release my trauma if I have some friend or partner. So can you hear my problem?
Right.
So in bahasa Indonesia we call curhat. I have a friend, one of bigger podcaster in Indonesia. The channel name is Curhat Bang. And the viewer, wow, is million view. So everyone want to curhat. You have to say curhat. They have to tell their problem. So, is that TRE need to curhat?
No, it does not need it.
You don't need it.
No. Here's the thing. Think of
Here's the
this,
thing.
what we started from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, there's no such thing as a separation between the brain and the body.
All right.
Neurophysiologically, they're always working together all the time.
Oh.
So here's an example. I could say something to your brain, take a deep breath, and you can do that. You just controlled your body.
Right.
Only because me telling your brain
Yes,
to do
yes,
it.
yes.
Well, we can do the opposite. I can get your body to tremor without your brain even knowing how to do that.
Wow.
See?
Amazing.
So the communication goes
Communication.
back and forth all the time. So there's no such thing as a separation. But here's what you're talking about. And I see this all the time because I'm a clinical therapist.
Yes.
Okay? So I have a lot of people who come to me and say, I need to tell you about my trauma. So I listen to their story.
Okay.
Other people say, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to do body work. Other people come in and say, I had a near-death experience and I need to talk about my spirituality or my belief system. What I find is that every human being has mind, body, and soul,
Yeah.
or mind, body, and energy, whatever you want to call it. And their starting point for healing is different. So your starting point might be talking about your story, but eventually your body has got to be included in that somehow.
No, yeah.
And your energy.
And
Okay?
my energy
Yeah.
must be
So
included.
all of those will somehow come together. Now you might do it first by talking, because if I tell you my story, I could feel relaxed and it feels good, and all of a sudden my shoulders drop down,
Oh, yeah.
my breathing increases, and I
Yeah.
feel like I have energy again. Only because I told you the story. But you see how the telling the story affected
was
the
a
body
transfer
and the
energy.
energy. Exactly right.
Oh, so
But GRA is different with that.
TRE is for people who start from the body and then let the body tell the story. So here's an example. I will work with soldiers. They don't want to tell me what happened in war. We work on their body starts to relax, their breathing increases, and then they'll say, you know what the worst thing was that happened to me? Now they're reflecting on it because they have space inside themselves and it's not so tight and tense, and they can tell the story which they needed to tell, but they can't start by telling the story.
So you can cure by yourself if you know the TRA without telling something, without telling someone.
Many people don't tell the story, and many people don't even remember what the story is. If it's an early childhood trauma, all they know is my father was an angry man and I was
Yes.
always afraid, as an example.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. What a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so the next question is, I want to invite how TRA came to Indonesia. I will invite my friends.
I'm delighted. Thank you so much.
Thank
That
you
was
so
absolute
much.
pleasure. I enjoy
Very
your
pleasure.
energy.
Thank you very much.
Oke, tadi 35 menit yang berbicara bahasa Inggris dan sudah tentunya ada terjemahan di bawah. Jadi kalian pasti sudah mendengarkannya, dan sekarang langsung dilanjutkan sama foundernya TRE Indonesia. Welcome Pak Indra Gunawan.
Terima kasih Pak Chandra.
Nah, ini Pak Indra, ini pendiri TRE Indonesia. Pak Indra gimana sih ceritanya kok bisa ketemu sama Dr. David itu gimana sih?
Jadi pertama begini, setiap orang pasti punya masalah.
Betul, betul.
Dan ketika saya punya masalah, saya mencari jalan.
Oke.
Dan saya beruntung banget ketemu TRE di Singapura. Waktu itu Chris Basley, salah satu guru saya yang memperkenalkan TRE.
Oh, tahun berapa itu ya?
Itu tahun 2011-2012 antara itu.
Oh, iya.
Tapi pada saat itu saya merasakan bahwa gampang banget memaafkan orang lain yang sudah hampir 8 tahun. Saya marah sekali sama dia. Dan itu tanpa cerita, hanya bergetar.
Oh.
Dan itu membuat saya mencari, tapi ada sesuatu yang sangat berbeda di TRE. Karena hanya TRE yang saya lakukan, yang lain sama aja.
Oh, gitu.
Nah itu membuat saya pergi lagi ke Singapura, ngambil sertifikasi level 1. Dan level 1 hanya boleh mengajar private. Saya mau lebih banyak orang merasakan manfaatnya. Tapi saya mau tahu soulnya apa. Dan saya terbang sendiri, saya ngajak teman-teman Singapura ke Amerika waktu itu.
Langsung. Tahun
Ketemu
berapa
dokter.
itu?
Itu tahun 2013.
2013 langsung ketemu sama Dr. David.
Yes, saya mau tahu betul-betul di dalamnya apa sih. Sebelum saya betul-betul mengajarkan orang lain. 8 hari full saya di sana. Saya very fokus. Saya ketemu Dr. David dan wow, saya merasa ini perlu diajarkan ke semua orang Indonesia. Karena semua orang Indonesia punya tubuh. Tubuhlah yang menghealing diri sendiri. Dan bedanya tubuh dengan teknik pikiran itu adalah pikiran kita bisa lupa. Tubuh sekali belajar seumur hidup bisa dipakai. Itu yang membuat saya tertarik. Orang tidak lagi tergantung pada saya. Gitu. Dan saya memulainya tahun 2013, persisnya 16 September 2013. Gak ada yang percaya. Orang bilang, getar-getar itu kayak ayan. Tapi 6 bulan setelah itu mulai banyak sekali testimoni, kemudian orang mulai tertarik, dan sampai hari ini kita sudah masuk ke tahun ke-12.
Ya.
Dan tahun ke-12 ini kita sudah menyelenggarakan lebih dari 1.400 angkatan.
1.400 angkatan?
Yes.
Total berapa peserta itu?
25.000 orang.
Oh.
Ya, sudah.
Begitu banyaknya orang trauma dan stres dan cemas.
Jadi kita permandi karena ada debu, ada keringat.
Pertanyaan saya sekarang gini. Pasti Pak Indra kan sebelum ketemu TRE ini kan sudah belajar macam-macam nih.
Betul.
Sorry itu saya lah ya.
Ya.
Saya ngomong pasti pernah belajar hipnoterapi.
Pernah.
Yang pernah masuk Indonesia lah.
Iya.
NLP.
Iya.
Kemudian pasti udah pernah belajar past life terapi dan sebagainya. Kenapa kok Pak Indra akhirnya memilih TRE?
Oke, karena ini sangat natural dan orang satu kali belajar dia bisa pakai seumur hidup. Orang tidak tergantung pada saya. Ini adalah karunia Tuhan kepada semua umat manusia. Jadi, kalau masalah pasti ada jawaban. Dan jawaban itu ada dalam diri kita, bukan di luar diri kita. Bukan tergantung pada siapa yang expert. Tapi kita didesain untuk punya kemampuan menghealing diri sendiri.
Oh, sama kayak jawabannya Dr. David itu tadi ya. Terus yang hipnoterapi ada efektifnya sama ini beda dong? Nggak usah di-compare, nggak apa-apa.
Oke, tapi saya boleh ngomong gini.
Boleh.
Hipnoterapi itu dari pikiran sadar, pikiran bawah sadar. Atau dia masuk melalui pintu emosi.
Betul.
Saya membayangkan kita punya rumah ada pintu depan, pintu samping, pintu belakang.
Ya.
Lewat pintu mana yang penting masuk ke dalam.
Ya.
TRE melalui pintu tubuh. So different way. Mana yang lebih efektif? Saya nggak berani ngomong.
Oke.
Tiap orang punya cara yang berbeda.
Cocok-cocokan ya.
Betul.
Boleh ya.
Boleh.
Ini kata-kata bijak lah ya.
Sangat boleh.
Kebetulan untuk Pak Indra lebih cocoknya TRE.
Iya. Karena apa? Orang nggak tergantung pada saya.
Oh, kalau dulu Pak Indra kan juga pernah ngajar hipnoterapi juga.
Pernah.
Pernah kan. Tapi sekarang udah nggak ngajar sejak 2013.
Yes.
Oh, jadi fokus di TRE. Oke. Nah, sekarang gini nih. Kemudian pengalaman Pak Indra ngajar ini berapa angkatan?
Kami sudah lebih dari 1.400 angkatan.
1.400 angkatan. Berapa alumni?
25.000 orang.
Ada nggak yang balik? Dalam artian, kalau nggak balik itu biasanya dua opsi. Yang nggak balik itu biasanya nggak ada reaksi, nggak ada apa-apanya. Atau kalau misalkan balik,
sudah sembuh.
sudah sembuh, ucapkan terima kasih. Itu thank you dong. Tapi maksudnya balik itu dalam artian, saya pengen belajar lebih dalam. Ada nggak yang seperti itu?
Oke, jadi ini. Saya melihat bahwa TRE Indonesia ini kita bentuk untuk Indonesia, untuk semua orang. Maka semua orang yang belajar di kami satu hari one day workshop, kita akan maintain dia seumur hidup.
Maintain seumur hidup.
Karena gini, ibarat rumah 20 tahun nggak pernah dibersihkan, kan debunya banyak tuh. Jadi orang bersapu. Nah, ketika orang sapu membersihkan, debunya naik. Orang bisa pingsan karena itu. Jadi kita berapa banyak sapunya, berapa lama, itu harus disesuaikan dengan kecepatan tubuh masing-masing. Misalnya orang punya asam lambung. Dia shaking 10 menit, dia udah asam lambung, udah mau muntah. Itu artinya dia sapu terlalu banyak. Maka kami akan maintain mereka setiap saat. Mereka bisa call kita. Dan ini seumur hidup pelayanan kami. Dan banyak sekali yang ikut gathering terus-menerus. Karena apa? Mereka masuk lebih dalam lagi, lebih dalam lagi, lebih dalam lagi. Trauma-trauma masa kecil itu kayak keluar. Dan mereka menjadi orang yang sangat wise, yang tidak mudah tersinggung, yang tadinya dia sangat mudah tersinggung kalau orang lain lihat wajahnya orang aja dia mulai tersinggung.
Betul.
Anak sedikit bikin kesel, marah. Sekarang dia bilang, Pak, saya nggak pernah marah lagi loh sama anak. Itu
emosinya udah hilang.
Yes.
Ingatannya nggak hilang.
Ingat nggak hilang.
Emosinya yang hilang. Yang penting kan emosinya hilang. Panasnya itu hilang.
Benar.
Jadi kalau ketemu kan yang bikin masalah panasnya itu.
Betul. Dan yang menarik ada satu gini. Ada seorang ibu, dia ikut. Dan dia bilang, Pak, saya ikut ini karena saya baru bercerai dengan mantan suami saya. Betul. Kalau saya ketemu mantan suami saya bunuh dia. Wow. Dan setelah ikut 1 tahun kemudian, 1 tahun berapa bulan, Dia telepon saya. Waktu saya lagi dampingi David di Bali. Pak, saya ketemu mantan saya. Dan saya tahu ceritanya. Apa yang terjadi, Bu? Kami berdua di kafe kayak teman ngobrol ketawa-ketawa. Ketika kita punya trauma, kemarahan, dia akan masuk ke dalam otot kita, menjadi kaku dan kenceng.
I see.
Itu letak masalah kita. Jadi orang bilang, Pak, dada jantung saya berdebar nih, kenapa nih? Diperiksa dokter baik-baik saja. Karena bukan di situ. Letaknya ada di otot yang kaku dan kencang. Otot yang kaku dan kencang menyimpan emosi dan memori.
Oke, itu saya bisa
ketika
terima.
relax, rilis emosinya, memori enggak.
Memorinya enggak.
Jadi ingat.
Tapi
pernah
kayaknya
nyakitin
panasnya
saya.
udah hilang.
Iya.
Ya itulah kelebihan TRE gitu ya.
Yes.
Oke, sekarang gini nih. Pak Indra sendiri. Kan dulu trauma nih ceritanya.
Iya.
Punya masalah nih. Kan belajar macam-macam nih. Sampai terakhir berhentinya di TRE. Nah, akhirnya Pak Indra sendiri punya problem itu kan Pak Indra yang selesaikan sendiri.
Iya.
Dengan TRE itu sendiri.
Betul.
Terus Pak Indra tersadarkan, tercerahkan istilahnya. Wah, ini harus kalau saya sembuh ini bisa banyak orang juga ada masalah ini.
Betul.
Bisa membantu banyak orang. Apa kepuasan Pak Indra ketika Pak Indra itu sembuh sendiri dan melihat orang lain sembuh?
Wow, itu nggak bisa dibayar pakai uang. Setiap hari saya terima testimoni, Pak, terima kasih. Saya sudah minum obat selama 34 tahun dan saya tidak perlu minum lagi. Tidurnya nyenyak. Asam lambung, kecemasan yang selama ini saya ada, itu nggak ada lagi. Saya nyetir ke sekolah, ngantar anak aja nggak berani. Sekarang saya sendiri dari Bandung ke Jakarta bolak-balik in the same time. Hidup mereka berubah. Sholat menjadi lebih khusyuk. Kan saya tidak gampang marah. Dan ada satu pejabat BUMN, dia bilang, saya itu kalau disalib orang, saya pasti balasnya. Kalau orang nyalip lagi, itu jadi masalah. Saya akan turun marah orang itu. Setelah TRE, dia nggak pernah marah karena itu. Orang berubah itu bukan dari luar. Orang berubah harus dari dalam. Ini yang kita bilang amigdala, hipokampus, hipotalamus 3 ini. Dia punya kemampuan untuk yang kita bilang neuroplasticity. Kemampuan menyesuaikan diri. Orang berubah bukan dari luar. Orang berubah harus datang dari dalam.
Oke. Nah,
ini yang menurut saya luar biasa.
Sekarang akhirnya kenapa Pak Indra betul-betul fokus kepada TRE ini?
Benar sekali.
Nah, jadi kalau saya tertarik nih, pengen ikut kelas TRE.
Iya.
Kelasnya itu seperti apa aja sih?
Oke, kebetulan kami TRE Indonesia punya beberapa provider. Dan kita biasanya mengedukasi dulu. Ada seminar yang sekian ratus ribu, mereka bisa ikut, mereka akan dapat buku Dr. David langsung. Dan setelah mereka lihat, saya akan menceritakan kenapa orang bisa punya asam lambung, kecemasan, susah tidur. Dan bagaimana tubuh kita yang punya kemampuan kecerdasan tubuh yang luar biasa, yang dikaruniakan Tuhan pada kita, mampu menyelesaikan masalah ini. Dan kalau mereka merasa cocok, klik, mereka boleh daftar untuk prakteknya. Nah, setelah praktek, kami tidak tinggalkan. Kami tahu bahwa kita ingin memberikan banyak manfaat kepada banyak orang. So, setelah praktek, kami akan maintain mereka sebulan 2 kali online gathering. Di online itu proses tanya jawab, kemudian testimoni dari teman-teman, dan kita akan lakukan TRE ke level yang lebih dalam lagi untuk setiap orang. Dan itu kita maintain seumur hidup. Dan itu online. Kemudian beberapa kota ada yang setiap bulan sekali kita akan datang ke sana.
Berarti Pak Indra punya tim ya?
Kami punya tim.
Tim pengajar ya, untuk follow up mereka secara online. Kalau ikut seminarnya aja harganya berapa ya?
Harga paling 300.000.
300.000. Itu secara offline atau secara online?
Offline. Online juga ada. Online cuma 200.000.
Oh, 200.000.
Iya.
Berapa jam kalau kita mau tahu tentang
2,5-3 jam lebih.
Nah, di situ kita bisa langsung praktek dengan seminar itu?
Itu seminar doang.
Oh, seminar.
Jadi kayak
teori tentang TRE.
Iya. Kalau dia merasa, oh cocok nih, silakan terima.
Oke, kalau kita mau praktek harus ikut workshopnya. Nama workshopnya apa?
Workshop TRE Indonesia.
Workshop TRE Indonesia. Itu selama berapa jam?
Itu dari jam 9 sampai jam 3 sudah cukup.
9 sampai jam 3, jadi itu 6 jam ya?
6 jam.
Harganya berapa kalau saya boleh tahu?
Beberapa kota berbeda, jadi
Iya.
antara 4 sampai 5 juta antara.
4 sampai 5 juta,
Iya.
itu tergantung kotanya.
Ya.
Biasanya di kota mana aja?
Kebetulan saya pegang kota Jakarta, Bandung, Bali, kemudian Surabaya.
Oke.
Kota-kota lain dipegang oleh beberapa teman saya. Dan
Baik.
saya biasanya 4.750.000.
4750. Baik, kalau misalkan kita ingin join nih, oke sahabat SP30, kalau Anda ingin join, saya di bawah ini ada link deskripsi. Nanti kami langsung Anda bisa langsung tahu jadwal terdekat,
Yes.
TRE terdekat dari kota Anda. Nanti saya berikan kode khusus,
Ya,
supaya
siap.
kalau tahu dia referral daripada Success Before 30, dan kita langsung bisa dapat dari sana. Kebetulan saya pribadi juga sudah pernah ikut TRE, dan saya sendiri juga merasakan manfaatnya. Makanya saya juga berani mengundang hari ini dokternya langsung, termasuk Pak Indra sebagai TRE di Indonesia.
Ya.
Dan hari ini saya yakin Pak Indra mungkin ada yang pengen ditambahkan lagi
Iya,
dari
jadi
kesempatan ini.
saya melihat bahwa ini benefit buat banyak orang. Semua orang pasti bisa lakukan dengan sangat mudah. Dan ini juga cukup butuh 10 menit, 5 menit aja lakukan di rumah kayak mandi, tapi mandi secara mental. Lalu ketika Dr. David datang ke Indonesia pertama kali, waktu itu menyelenggarakan untuk advance training dari 23 negara,
Ya.
77 peserta. Nah, pada saat itu kami diskusi dan beliau minta, ayo kita bikin yayasan sosial. Maka muncullah Saka Foundation.
Saka Foundation. Apa itu Saka Foundation?
Saka Foundation adalah gerakan sosial dari TRE Indonesia.
Ya.
Dan kami akan bawa ke tempat-tempat bencana.
Ya.
Dan bahkan saya sempat diundang ke lapas teroris di Nusa Kambangan.
Oh.
Di sana waktu kami datang mereka lihat kita agak pandangan aneh.
Betul.
Tetapi setelah keluar mereka perlu kita say terima kasih.
Itu teroris.
Yes,
Oh.
mantan teroris.
Mantan teroris yang sedang direhab.
Yes. Dan kita sudah diundang sampai 5 kali di Mabes Polri
Oke.
membantu para polisi yang terjun di Papua.
Betul. Mereka pasti punya trauma dong.
Yes. Dan ke tempat-tempat bencana lainnya. Tapi ada satu main program kita,
Ya.
yaitu kita ingin Indonesia menjadi lebih baik. Jadi kita akan bawa TRE ini ke seluruh guru yang ada di Indonesia
Ya.
for free.
Ya.
Dan guru-guru yang bagus itu, yang betul-betul mengikuti, kita akan maintain. Yang mereka lakukan banyak benefit dan sebagainya, kita akan beasiswakan untuk dapat sertifikasi.
Oke, bagus.
Sehingga mereka bisa ngajar ke anak-anak Indonesia seminggu 2 kali di sekolah.
Oke.
Karena apa? Selama ini kita di sekolah kan ada
Dan itu
senam.
free ya, itu yayasan sosial ya.
Yes. Kita selama
Ini yang
ini
saya suka ya dari sahabat SP30. Jadi kami itu di sini bukan cuma semata-mata menjual kelas, tapi kami itu menjual solusi.
Ya.
Jadi di Success Before 30 Level Up, kita selalu mengajak penonton kita untuk level up. Jadi hari ini kenapa saya itu paling jarang mempromosikan kelas, paling jarang. Tahu sendiri lah kalau penonton saya. Tapi untuk kali ini kenapa saya mau promosikan? Karena saya sendiri juga sudah merasakan manfaatnya. Oleh sebab itu, apa yang tadi disampaikan oleh Pak Indra itu memang benar adanya. Dan hari ini apalagi Pak Indra juga sudah cerita soal Saka Foundation, yang mana beliau bukan cuma cari cuan, tapi beliau juga giving back.
Ya.
Itu juga memberikan kembali.
Ya.
Luar biasa sih Pak Indra.
Terima
Ada yang
kasih.
belum disampaikan lagi?
Ya, saya tambah sedikit. Jadi karena kita ada SKJ senam kesehatan jasmani, sehat secara jasmani.
Betul.
Tapi anak-anak kita sekarang mental health-nya nomor 1 yang harus kita perhatikan.
Yang jadi problem.
Ya, so kita berharap guru-guru yang bagus kita sertifikasi, seminggu 2 kali dia akan ajarkan kepada anak-anak.
Ya.
Anak-anak stresnya berkurang, hidupnya menjadi lebih bahagia, lebih bersemangat, lebih percaya diri.
Jadi nggak usah ke Jepang untuk healing gitu, nggak usah ya?
No.
Atau harusnya dari dalam.
Dalam diri kita. Sangat dekat dengan diri kita.
Sangat dekat dengan diri kita.
Dan kita berharap kita bisa menuai Indonesia emas di 2045 dengan generasi muda yang lebih strong.
Cakep, luar biasa. Pak Indra, thank you banget.
Terima kasih.
Hari ini udah mampir ke sini. Dr. David, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Jadi hari ini kita udah mampir ke Level Up Success Before 30. Semoga apa yang disampaikan hari ini juga bisa bermanfaat. Let's go. Dan kita tutup dengan salam hebat luar biasa. Thank you.